Hello, uh, it's General Easy, and today is gonna be a little bit different because introducing a new segment. Okay, so we have the agendas, right? Narrative control, the pictures, and now the unseen world. Okay, and today we're gonna basically cover a couple of concepts, really. Well, why am I doing this? Well, it's simple, It's that most people, especially the ones that believe in God, are, somewhat yearning for a spiritual experience, like one of those experiences that hit you in your face, that you wake up and you realize, like, yo, God truly exists, and it's not a thing that just affects it basically affects everybody. Okay, and I think it's one of the causes that people leave faith to begin with in the first place, right? They say if God exists, then should prove, because anything else that is his handiwork can be written off, can be explained off as, evolution and whatnot, So let's get to it. Okay, this is, as usual, it's a continuing thing. Okay, so we're gonna go deeper and talk about more varied stuffs pertaining the unseen world. Okay, so the senses. Okay, these senses that we have, they transcend this realm. Okay, they go even to the other side. Okay, our eyes, our skin, they are more than what they are currently. Okay, as I've said in many times back then, that we are in a kind of a fallen state because of Adam and Eve, right? We're in a fallen state, so we are kind of downgraded version of creation. Okay, we are serving a punishment as we speak, right? So all of this, sexual immorality and all of this is part of that punishment. Okay, the senses became, accessible to evil. Okay, but the point is that they transcend this dimension. Okay, and people that can achieve this, I should call them, privileged. Okay, I think it's a privilege. Okay, because it's not for fun. It's not so as you can make yourself feel good. Okay, it serves a point. It serves a purpose, just like everything else, right? It might be to reinforce a person's faith, just like a miracle. There's no pointless miracle. Okay, like these magicians come out here and just do idiotic stuff, like tell you what your card is. How does that help your faith in any way? I think you understand what I'm trying to say. So mainly it is there to reinforce the faith that already exists. It's not a thing that one should start with. Okay, as I've said before. Okay, today people are actually trying to say that miracle that Jesus Christ did, changing water to wine, they have explanation for that, you know. But for the believers, like the mother of Jesus and the people that actually poured the water into the serving situations, something happened to them, right? Something definitely happened to them. Okay, they became believers. If they if they're not believers, then they became believers because they, with their own hands, poured water into those vases, and they went to serve. And when they did, somehow it became wine. Okay, even walking on water. Okay, that whole ordeal, that whole scene, okay, that whole situation, it was to reinforce the faith that they had. That's why he gave that example, you know, that we can move mountains with faith and this and that. Okay, we can do things that are impossible. Okay, impossible by today's understanding and belief. So we are in a shade of, I can't even say it is science, you know, it breaks that, you know, it's something else. It's a miracle. But now, since this word miracle is being used cheaply, I can say, it has evolved, the meaning has evolved, but a true miracle can only be performed by God. Okay? Anything else is just a wonder and a trick, a visual trick, or a scientific or anything like that. It's just a trick, it's a lie, it's a delusion, right? But true power can only be found in God. God can give power to beings so as they can perform these miracles, true miracles. Okay, so a person cannot say that by their own strength they can perform these miracles, because again, they are handicapped, you know. That sin in the garden, it became like a form of handicap in a physical sense, in a spiritual sense, right? And later on down the line, you come to, you draw this line, you know. You draw this line between people and people, and I don't know, I can add angelic situation because they really operate in high secrecy. Right? So on this side, there's just the people with their guardian angels and whatnot, and then on the other side we have the fallen, right? What we call demons or devils or whatever, right? You then learn that there is a line, there is a big difference between the two, right? Either these beings, these fallen angels, are operating within people or outside. Okay, they can influence people from outside and from inside, from within. All of these are possible. Okay, which is more common is from outside. Okay, from within, that's why we see these people talking in languages that they've never learned, having skills that, you know, all of these bizarre things. They lie that that demon is within them, right? A legion or whatever, like in the scripture it says. So you come to understand that there is a line and there's a difference, and then you learn how these these two groups affect each other, right? That's really important, you know, because they're making films for children these days that, I don't know, convinces the public that, I don't know, the devil is not responsible for the chaos that ensued in the garden, and after that, you know, it takes no responsibility at all. Okay, trying to deflect responsibility towards the creator, right? Making questions like, why did he make the tree in the first place, you know, and all of these things like that, you know. And the serpent is trying to take away himself out of the picture, so he has to deflect that hatred that people have for the serpent, because it is also part of the punishment. Okay, there will be no friendship between the serpent and the woman, right? There will that enmity is being put there, right? So they are trying to be defiant by redefining this this punishment they were given, right? So we see them making contracts with people, you know, putting on a friendly face, you know, and, you know, making partnerships and deals. But in reality, it always backfires. Someone always loses. Okay, so it's never a win-win situation, because there is a supernatural animosity between the two seeds, right? The seed of man and the seed of the serpent. Okay, so you need to understand and you need to recognize that these two seeds exist, no matter what progress humanity has made in science and fields of blah blah blah. Okay, the facts still remain the same, right? They'll bite our heel and we shall stomp their head. Okay, in the Bible it ends with the serpent biting the heel, right? So I don't know, after biting the heel then stamp on the head, or stamp the head then bite the heel. But either way, what's clear and what needs to be understood that is that there's an animosity, right? And then there's the issue of dreams and all of these related phenomena like sleepwalking and sleep paralysis, and these scientific focuses on, you know, just like in the Stranger Things franchise, right? The sensory deprivation situation, right? Well, this deserves its own segment, yeah. But basically, these are natural and supernatural phenomena, right? Like there are these points of existence where these two, first of all, the physical and the spiritual, they coexist, yeah. Just like the soul and the body, right? They coexist in this plane, and it's the same thing over there, right? So people have dreams, people sleepwalk, you know, because they don't have, I don't know, sleep paralysis, you know, because it's actually a natural thing, you know, this sleep paralysis. Okay, there's a chemical that, you know, before you dream, and the chemical is released into your brain to basically incapacitate your limbs from acting out. You'd hurt yourself, right? Yeah, I'm gonna give examples of my experiences, and you tell me, if I was not paralyzed, my body was not disabled in this realm, what would have happened if I acted upon what was happening in the spiritual world? Okay, but if you go on Wikipedia, they have the whole meaning of sleep paralysis. They don't know, they say they don't know what it means, but it is known. Okay, it is known. Okay, I've seen it, not only people dream, even animals dream, I've seen my cat dream many, many times, and how do I know that they're dreaming? That twitch, they twitch their leg, and you know that I once saw him he was like digging for something, but he was sleeping. So sleepwalking and sleep paralysis are just one of the same. This effect is from the same situation. Okay, sleep paralysis is normal, but when you wake up and you somehow you're still paralyzed, then it takes a while for that communication to be relayed. Okay, now we're talking about really special cases. Okay, and of course the evil one can utilize all of this knowledge and this know-how, but to his advantage, right? So of course another thing we can talk about, also important, time and space. Time and space works different. The scripture says 1,000 years for us is one day for God. Okay, so it gives you perspective of how things work over there, right? In this world you need a vehicle to move from point A to point B, but not in the spiritual, right? Not in the spiritual. So over there you save a lot of time, and you can say that you're going slower, but in reality you're going faster. Okay, that's the trick with virtual reality stuff, right? This virtual heaven they are trying to sell to the public, right? Using our favorite psyop man Snoop Dogg, who bought, I don't know, 400,000 worth of digital land as he was trying to get people to join the circus. These promises of, I don't know, cryogenic sleep and uploading your mind into the virtual space to add more time, like what? This is that the delusion. Okay, and again another concept that is really, really important in a spiritual context and in a scriptural context also. There is, every time a prophet or a king or a prince is given something, a message, or is taken somewhere, angels are always present. Angels are like active. Okay, we don't see them, but I can tell you how many people are dreaming right now. Okay, you can see the time of as I'm recording this. Okay, it's the true time. How many people are dreaming right now, and they go into this other world. They just don't end up there. You don't go there accidentally. Okay, there's always a reason, right? So they serve as guides, like the person that was shown the book of Revelation. He was taken there by the angels. Even Enoch. The angel was always with him. Okay, taking him places, showing him things through time, right? So over there you can transcend even time itself, right? Transcending time. So not only space, as you can bend and break space and do whatever to space as you want, but you can also do things in time. I don't know, go back or go forward, but again, it's a privilege. Okay, it's a privilege. You don't make a device to just jump back and forth like it's a game. No. Okay, there are rules, there's order, and order needs to be maintained. Okay, as I've said in the previous video. you might be against this order, then what I'm saying right now, it's a disaster. But if you are for that order and you understand why that order exists, and you understand that you are a creature and there is a creator, then you'll be relieved, right? And they also act as security, okay, because I'm sure that it is very dangerous out there. It's very dangerous out there, if you're not taken to, like, I don't know, higher realms, like, I don't know, heaven, or taken across time, then most of us are just here in this realm, in this time, right, experiencing it through the perspective of the spiritual. We say the spiritual realm. Right? So, as I've said, every creature dreams. So we are all connected. We live in this hive mind, and at its center, it's the Creator Himself. We live through Him, by Him, for Him. So the creatures within it can communicate. Okay, we can talk to God, we can talk to animals, trees. God can talk to animals, trees, people, and back and forth. Trees can talk to animals, animals can talk to trees. They do that. They do that. But again, that downgrade, that fallen nature, that is that strike on our heel, it's that poison within us, that venom. Okay, so the Creator will fix that venom because He created the serpent. Remember that that event where they all got beat by snakes, and the only way they can get healed is by absorbing that snake, made of a fake one, right? So He's also said, like Himself, God, He said that I'm the one who wounds and also the one who heals. So you figure that out. Again, to some it's a relief, to others it's a disaster, right? So before we move on and finish up here, we'll talk about my experiences. I've picked up a couple of different experiences, and to show you that there is no, it's not like Earth over there, where I have like observed and come across many stories about people that have visited or have thrusted their way into the spiritual world using DMT or other forms of psychedelic stuff. Some people remain here on Earth and see things overlaid, like some kind of, I don't know, augmented reality type of situation, and others go literally whole to another. So they leave this area, this space, and they go to another realm where they see these supposed clowns, and they talk to them and they have conversation to them, and and this and that, Well, it's it's that whole situation there is like just a small portion of what is actually possible over there, right? The only limit is that we think there is like here. That's the problem, because we don't really know much about there. We have been closed off from there, okay, and we can only go there under special privileges to do specific tasks, or for specific reasons, as I said before, right? So I have I don't know, like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, I enter in my sleep, and let me say this, I rarely dream, and I'm glad, I'm glad, because every time that I dream, it always has to be something, and this specific dream, I woke up. It's actually the second time I'm seeing this scene here, right? I wake up, and right in front of me, I see a lot of like buildings, tall buildings, right? But that's not my focus, And I look up into the sky, and there's a hole in the sky. A hole in the sky. And water is pouring in, man. Like a lot. Like a huge amount of, and it's like you're like an NPC, At one point you were like an NPC, and then boom, you were aware, right? So I came into this world, and this all of a sudden was happening, There was a hole in the sky, and like a huge amount of water was pouring in, and the awareness was like real. Like, yo, the sky has a hole, and water is coming through there. And the fear was also real, because I'm aware of the Noah story, and people, let me tell you this, we now read it as a story, but I have lived it twice. Twice, okay? Twice in the spiritual world. Yeah? So after I became aware, like, yo, okay, I'm in a spiritual world, and I'm looking at the sky, and it has a hole, and water is coming down, like a lot of water. Like a huge amount of water, right? And then, just as by a blink of an eye, I was somewhere else, right? I was somewhere else. I was in this house, right? And in this house, I saw somebody, right? Somebody familiar, I know, right? And I like this guy. And of course, if I like this guy, the devil don't like this guy. Of course, I know when they decided to launch this attack. I know when, okay? Let me not get to that, okay? But it was, this guy was in the house, and right in front of me, I was holding a door, trying to close it, and just below that door, in the entrance, like in the frame of the door, there was a little girl there, right? And this little girl had like a black dress, and on the back it had like two X's, right? Two X's on the back, right? So it was like very vivid, That's why I can give you such detail. And this girl called my names, like my first and my last, trying to get my attention, But something told me, like, there are many of them. It's a horde, It's not the first time I have heard to, like, God sent me to intervene for this kind of situation. Yeah, it was like a herd. So like I beat down this demon that was looking like a child, carried out by the decoration on the X's on the back, carried and threw her out and closed the door, and like it was in a very specific manner. I had like, I didn't even close the door regular, that's why I know like I was at war at that time, and I asked that guy like, how did you escape, and he was bamboozled by what was happening, and we could sense these beings outside the window, many of them, so that's one dream, So when the house was secured, then the attempt was throttled, right? So that was the first type, of dream that I've had. The second, I've tried to sample, of course. I've tried to sample. The second was the witch beat down, I call it. I have the funny names so as they can recall specifics. The witch beat down, right? So as usual, I go to sleep, right? Then I wake up to see I'm beating this man, right? This man, he had no shirt or anything. He just had this black, black clothing covering his lower part of the body. And I was whooping this guy, and I was telling him, I told you not to come, not to see me, not to do anything. Do not come to the spiritual world. I warned you. And I remember this attempt was actually after I made a video, right? Just a video, a public announcement, like said, yo, you witches, I advise you to change your ways and live. Don't live like that, Don't come to my dreams and try to bother me. Don't call me up or anything like that. I made a very specific video about saying these words, right? So I was punishing this guy because he tried something stupid, and Michael got him and he was whooping his ass, and I was called in to chime in. Now, what's funny was this, right? So I wake up in the morning. I wake up laughing, because of this event. I told my younger bro, yo bro, I had a dream, and I explained what was happening. It was short. It was just a beat down, It was just a beat down. What that witch did, I don't know. Okay, but if Michael went after him, then he deserved it. Okay? So I told my bro, and he said, yo, I had that same dream today, but I was watching you beating up that person, and I was just here asking, why is my brother doing this, And if that was not enough, he said he saw my other brother there with me. So it was two people providing this spiritual beat down to this witch, who somehow found it funny to walk up to people and do sorceries on their souls, So we laid that to rest, we didn't share it with my other bro, he wasn't available close by at that particular time. So I don't know, month is past, month is many, even 3 I can say. And then that story came up, that story came up again somehow along the conversation, And funny enough, that bro that was with me providing that beatdown also dreamt the same dream, but he wasn't providing the ass whooping. I was just providing the ass whooping. So they were just there to witness this righteous ass whooping of this witch. Okay, and I'm glad to say maybe we might have changed this man, you know. This man might have had a spiritual awakening because of this ass whooping, you know. Now I don't know what happened to him when he woke up to but that was another situation. Now the other situation is much more darker, you know. As usual, go to sleep, then I wake up, you know. Then in front of my face, like not even a meter, bro, you know, not even a meter, I see this huge creature, you know. I'm like 6 foot, you know, or 5'9", somewhere like that, you know. So this thing was standing like 8 or 9, you know, somewhere there, imposing, scaly skin, you know. And I was like, what? To look up, I saw this being, you know. And what I could recall is not the entirety of how it looked like. I think it clocked, they can clock, you know, the same rules as this word does not apply. But what I saw, what I definitely saw, are the teeth, you know. The teeth were like triangles, you know. Triangles on top, like the 6'9" teeth, you know. The 6'9" teeth, yeah. They were exactly like that, you know. So these artists, they know, they're referring to demons, you know. Even Venom, the movie Venom, you know, the Spider-Man thing, right? That Venom demon has this kind of teeth because they truly have that kind of teeth. Okay, I've seen it. Okay, I've seen it. Okay, you might be wondering what happened. I punched that dude. Okay? I punched him. Punched him. Now I don't know what happened after that, but you know, Michael handled that situation. I wasn't there to see what happened. Okay, and it's really none of my business. I was just there to witness this spectacle, you know. And of course, other weird dreams. Yeah, I think they can call up not just the dead, but also the living. You know, they can, when a person go to sleep, they can summon you in some sorcery of some kind, you know. Remember, the scripture did not say that calling up the dead is impossible. You know, the witch was able to call up the dead, but the dead that they called up was actually a saint, and it was a terrible idea. So they can do that to the living also, right? So they see to check if you're asleep, then they call up your soul, so as they can render destruction upon it, right? So imagine, you go black, and then you wake up. The first thing you see when you open these spiritual eyes to this other world, the first thing you see is a barrel of a pistol. And it was actually a Glock. A pistol aimed right at the center of my eye right there, you know. And it was so clear to me, you know. But I had enough time to like really know, like, yo, that is a pistol. I knew, and I was aware. Okay, and the guy was holding it. Then there were 3 of them actually, right? The guy holding that pistol and pointing it at me while I was on my knees, and there were 2 people next to him. Okay, and it was a whole setting. You know, it was like a long hallway, and it has like a refrigerator. It was some kind of like those high-end kitchens of coming. So like I was there, like, what is happening? You know, I saw a pistol. I know, sheesh, I'm in trouble. again. Before I know it, that pistol was disarmed and those guys were bailing, right? So I just go black, and after that, the guys were bailing. And guess what? I had that pistol in my hand, okay? And I was aiming for one guy, and I fired it, and literally felt it. I never fired a gun in my life, ever, right? But I felt it. I felt the recoil, what they call it. I felt it, so I knew that was real. You know, you get these tiny echoes that bleed into this world that prove to you like that was not a regular dream. You know, that's how you know, right? So these guys, I don't know. I got one of them, and I don't know, two of them escaped. I don't know, okay? But I was just there to see the gun and shoot the gun, right? So you can see how they vary, right? You can see how they vary, but they are indeed, they have a thing, right? They have a commonality, right? Yeah. Let me finish up. The room under my room. This was the most bizarre one. Okay, this was more like a revelation of some kind, right? Because I think Michael handled them because I didn't find nobody over there, right? So I went to my sleep and woke up in a room, right? And in this room, when I look up, like looking at the ceiling of your situation, wherever you are, imagine seeing your room, the room that you slept in, from down there, from below, looking up, like a whole room. You see your whole room, and down there where you are is a room also. You know, I don't know what they use this for. Maybe surveillance, or maybe stealing my stuff and whatever. Okay, they need the upper hand. Okay, they need the upper hand, and they're gonna get it whatever ways they deem necessary, right? So what is the common theme here, right? Familiarity. You know, all of these attacks, they happen in like copies of this world, kind of like, you know, it's like in the movie, like it's very, you know, the similarities are like scary, yes, of course, like, you know, like the franchise I just gave example to, Stranger Things, you know. It's the mirror, you know, to this world, and it's familiarity. Familiarity helped them, right? They saw the portal in the school, so they went to the school in a dream. In that spiritual world, they went to the school and found found that portal and came back to Earth, right? It's like sleepwalking. They're literally talking about sleepwalking, right? There are like serious cases of sleepwalking where people do amazing things with their eyes closed. You know, people cook, people do whole activities with their eyes closed, and these specialists out here are trying to excuse it as some sort of, I don't know, they have memories in their mind, and they are replaying these memories. No, they are not replaying it. That's live. Okay, that's live. You know, I have had the pleasure of seeing a person dream walk. Okay, and of course, there are some events that can be excused as some sort of replay, like a person waking up just from the bed and sleepwalking to the fridge. You know, the fridge is in a very particular area; it's not moving, right? But a person sleepwalking and start ironing the clothes and washing the dishes, and like, what, you can call that a replay, you know? Not like that, you know. So there are depths of, like, you know, of experiences that, you know, since science can't explain it, then they leave ambiguous answers, you know. Like the example I just gave you, you know, if you go look up sleepwalking on Wikipedia, it's the funniest thing ever, man. It's the funniest explanation you've ever heard. Okay, because understanding the brain needs you to understand the spiritual world, because it's mostly electric. The brain is mostly electric. So some people call it the ether or whatever. All of these fancy scientism names. Yeah, it's the spirit world. Okay, and it is vast and it exists. Okay, so in this segment I shall pass on what I've learned from over there, so as we can feed off each other by passing on this information. So let's finish up with a picture. I mean, like, the world is getting crazy, like, by the minute. You know, you can't make this up. Look at this. You should look at the price of sugar. This is what this is about. It's not about tea or salt. It's about sugar. Look at this situation. La Passion Mystica. Yeah, we have an angel and a woman. The truth is right there in your eyes, but people are so freaking blind. I can't even. You know, angels are not supposed to be with humans. They are not supposed to have children with humans. So wherever this situation, this cardinal is up to, he's definitely up with the agenda of interbreeding the Nephilim, and that's why this Kama Sutra situation was very popular. As I've said, you know, all of these supposed cults are just sex cults. You know, they are just scams. They're just schemes for the Nephilim to just replicate. It's the scheme of the seed of the serpent to destroy the seed of the woman by basically replicating, using both their ways and using humans as incubators for Nephilim. Okay, so there is a side of sex that it is that cannot be denied, and it's spiritual. But the angle that this guy chose to cover it leaves a lot unanswered, right? So yeah. Now I don't know what this is awesome. You know, if you ask me, this is awesome, you know, for our situation. For places where we can't get, I don't know, teachers to go, it's expensive to move people. You know, why don't you just install infrastructure and have virtual classes? You know, it's a nice solution for developing countries with lack of infrastructure. So this is like ours. For them, it's just a luxury, and that's the issue. That's why these things never pick up. It's a luxury. It's not a necessity. That's the issue with Babylon. And of course, we have headaches, more headaches. Yeah. They're finna hit Zion with these two situations. Now, I don't know what the zombie situation is, but I don't know. Is there a disease that can make a creature stupid, aggressive, and attacks anything at the vicinity, and is transferable by saliva? Don't dogs have such a... You should look into it. Talking rabies. And of course, now we are having that things are happening now in real time. Okay, all of these movies that came out in 2023, most of them are literally movies happening in real time, right? That's why most of the movies of last year had part 1 and part 2. You know, what do you think that's the case? Dune had part 1, part 2 because it was happening in real life. You know, it's the same thing as the one that Obama made. Like, look at this. You know, it's happening. It's happening. And look at these deluded monkeys out here who believe in space. Like, really. And look at this. Talking about it could save the world. Like, really. Spiders. Not the creator of spiders can save the world. No. But this Black Widow spider can save the world. Are you out of your mind? You try extracting silk from this Black Widow and get bit once and you're done. Good buddy. It's goodbye. It's a wrap. Talk about spider. I know a lot about silk. You know, it's stronger than most materials we know. But you need a lot of spiders to produce a shirt. So what do we yeah? I don't know, GMO, a huge spider that, I don't know, poops out threads at the length of a USB perhaps, you know, and traps cows with this silk and eats them. That's where this is going, because this is not feasible. Now I don't know why they're talking about it. I have seen research upon it, extensive research upon it. People have done experiments and it's true and it's useful, but it's not practical. And of course, the orange man always always delivers. They have the image and the mark and everything. Look at these guys, This is all about dominance, okay? Whatever political alliance they choose to deceive you, it's all about dominance. Okay, try to dominate the people of God. Okay, so this, you just look at East Africa, you know? Look at East Africa. Who are the people that have allowed this Starlink to come in? And then look at their political situation. I've heard rumors that Tanzania here is trying to allow this guy here to fly around his satellites and provide quote unquote free internet. Like, really? It's a plan, okay? It's a plan. So if you look at the countries that we have been arguing a lot about, you'll see that the project over there is in full swing, you know. More headaches. Like, this is market manipulation at its finest, my people. So this comes as convenient. Like the most of Esau's land is experiencing like coldness like it has never been seen for the past 50 years, and somehow coffee is poisonous. What does that do to the market of coffee? I think maybe tank the market so as you can buy it for cheap. It's the economic forum, people. It's right there. It's right there. Okay, and it was sugar. In this same video I just showed you, they're manipulating the markets. Okay, and this is just an attempt of manipulating the markets. People don't see it for what it is. Okay, but this guy, he owns companies, then companies own companies, and companies own companies. And when he gives out a statement like this, it leaves ripples in the market. It creates ripples in the market, maybe not immediate, because they don't want to seem like they're dictating the prices, like I've said many times, there's no world market. That does not exist. Okay, there's just buyers and sellers. That's what the market is. All of these algorithm in between, like in the stock market or in the coffee market or in the cashew nut market or whatever, these are just ways of the buyer to manipulate the buyer of these products in large quantities, to manipulate the farmer, to manipulate the farmer to sell it for cheap so as he can maximize their profit and use that profit for war. Now they are saying coffee is like causing, you see this double-headed beast right here, right? So they add it. And of course, if you see CBN reporting on this, it has to be it has to be something, my people. I'm telling you, something over there is cooking up. Last week I gave you Iran. I don't know. The last video I gave you Iran, right? And of course, I saw this before the Iran situation, but I forgot about it. I think it was appropriate that I talk about it right now. Okay, apparently there are mass visions of Jesus Christ. People are seeing Jesus Christ out there. And this ex-terrorist is giving out his confessions, and he said he saw Jesus and they hugged, and it was spectacular. Now I don't know, I don't know what is maybe few people are actually seeing something, or it's actually a con. It's hard to know. It's just reporting. I don't know. Jews also saying. So these people wanna sue the people that call themselves Jews. Look at the mess on their home. It's like this world is not serious. That's the issue. There's so much pretending and power plays, I call them. Power plays. Whatever Kagame, whatever Ruto, whatever Ramaphosa is doing, they are just power plays to have influence over Zion. Okay, this is why these people are active like that. So you just watch them. You just watch them. And of course, the home of the beast is suing the home of the beast. Another home of the beast is suing another home of the beast. Right after Ramaphosa picks up arms. Then we have this sad situation where I've not seen it in the mainstream lying media, but war is war, people, and it's not nice. Okay, it's not nice. It's war. Okay, so you better figure it out. You better figure it out. Now they are waking up. You remember I talked about this months ago, I think last year. It was last year. I talked about this. This is a technique even they apply even here. Okay, so you need to do your due diligence. Okay, and remind those people who have bought pieces of land to either develop them or give them back. And if they are shady, like those people who come here and just buy land and just say we are coming to build an industry and just don't come and build an industry. This being nice needs to stop. They can legally own land in your situation and stagnate your economy. So like, especially here in Africa, it's just terrible because the leadership is terrible. Look at that. It doesn't stop. the personalized. This is that type of weaponry I was talking about in the previous videos, right? They can genetically target, just like in the movie James Bond Spectre. Yeah, they made a weapon that could only harm his family. If he got close to his family, then they would die. You know, he made them like some, I don't know, allergic to his wife and kids. They made him allergic. Why? Because even the Spectre cult itself was killed by personalized shots. What do you think they mean, personalized shots? What do you think they mean by a personalized shot? You figure that, you know. Talk about South Africa. You see here, number 10, there's a rumor that they're trying to start their own white situation over here because it is an energy situation. It is an energy thing. Yeah, it is an energy thing. It is an energy thing. They believe in witchcraft and sorcery, right? They believe in witchcraft and sorcery. That's why number 5 is very popular right now. Very popular because of it's a source of witchcraft. Okay, Africa taught the world witchcraft, and we have to leave it ourselves. Okay, we have to unteach it. We have to unteach it, yeah. Because also we are in a better position. We know a lot more about this garbage. Yeah, it needs to stop. We need to worship the true creator, not our own intelligence. That's the issue. Yeah? So yeah, I think I'll wrap this up here. You know, I've said enough. Talk about personalized shots. Sheesh, can't even. General Easy signing out. Love you. Bye.